You've seen them, the spy photos of the new mid-engine Corvette C8. It seems to me that there are more spy photos than usual, and the car itself is revealing more of itself than what we're used to seeing in spy photos. It's almost as if they want us to capture more of it and have us unwrap it digitally, speculate what it will look like, and create a big buzz before the launch. By now, I think we can get a pretty clear picture of what the C8 will actually look like under all that wrap. All the angles and lines of the car are easily identifiable if you merge all the spy photos out there together to create a final product. And this has been done by some very talented 3D modelers out there who put together these fantastic renderings that you see right here. To me, the timing of this launch seemed a bit weird and strange. In a time when the majority of car companies are racing toward developing electric technology, Chevrolet decided to not only create a new Corvette, but there are no current claims of it having any electric motors or even a hybrid version. And of course, it's the first ever mid-engine Corvette, which is pretty cool, yet kinda strange. But powertrain facts and figures are for other channels to discuss. Here we talk about design and design only. So when it comes to the design of the C8, with all the hype being built, I struggle to see what there is to be excited about. Yes, it's a new Corvette, and yes, it's mid-engine, and yes, it has a ton of power. But when it comes to the design of this car, it leaves a lot of questions. And my main question is, what's the point? Now, before all the Corvette fans out there get triggered, let me give you an explanation of what I mean. Let's take the design of the Audi R8 as a first example. When the R8 was launched, it started a new era in car design of having LEDs to create a strong brand identity with its distinct headlight design. Even if you couldn't see the car at night, you could still identify it as an Audi. This has since become the standard in the automotive world. In addition to that, it also featured something we've never seen before. They called it the side blade. Now, Audi is one of the most conservative brands when it comes to car styling, but they decided in this case to take a huge risk and add a big blade on the side of the car, either in carbon fiber or a different color than the rest of the car, which made the feature stand out even more. They owned it, they didn't go halfway. They could have made it more subtle or paint it in the same color as the rest of the car, but no, they wanted to create something new, something different. The result, it became one of the coolest and most recognizable cars of the time. It's a car your grandma will know about because everybody knows about the car with the big blade on the side. It could have been launched today in 2019, over 10 years since it was first introduced, and still look fresh. Another example is the Ferrari 458 Italia. When it was launched, I thought the headlights looked interesting. I didn't know whether I liked them or not, especially with a tiny little triangular gap or air intake that goes from the bottom of the headlights to the bumper. I wanted to go and push the hood down because to me, the gap made it look like it wasn't closed all the way. Over time, I've come to love that detail and the chiseled front end of the 458. How the headlights stretched up along the fenders, how the side of the body looks like silk wrapped around the rear of the greenhouse. These were all new details of car design I hadn't seen before. Details that at the time looked odd, but also details that over time proved to be what makes the car unique. These details are what makes you stop an extra few seconds to look at it and think about it, and it's what makes the car special. Now let's have a look at the McLaren 720S with its deep dark eye sockets painted all black. But look inside and you'll notice that it hides the entire headlight assembly. Follow the lines with your eyes along the fenders to the shoulder line and side of the car, and you'll notice there is no air vent on the side. How is this possible in a mid-engine car? Well, as you all know, McLaren did something we've never seen before. They hid the air vent behind the first layer of door. This allows for it to still have the engine centered behind the seats, and at the same time have a gorgeously sculpted and interrupted body with long, sweeping, unbroken lines. This is a car design you can explore for hours. Try to figure out how the air flows around the car and how every little piece of the car plays a role in enhancing the car's performance. It's interesting, it's new. The brutal C-pillar treatment of the Ford GT looks like it could snap and break in half at any point. It creates an integrated wing in the side of the car which funnels air to be sent off by the massive rear spoiler. The cabin looks more like a separate part of the car, getting narrower and narrower the further back you go, creating this illusion of movement even when the car is standing still. I could go on and talk about car design and what makes it interesting to me, and this leads me back to the Corvette C8. I struggle to find anything interesting with it. It could be a car that was launched in the 90s or 2000s. I'm going to save my final verdict for when I see the car in real life, unmasked in the wild, but as it looks right now from these renders, it looks like a car I've seen 10,000 times before. It looks like a car I would walk right by without paying any attention to, because there's nothing there to grab my attention. To me, they played it safe, and maybe that's what they wanted with this design, I don't know. However, I can't help but think this will be a missed opportunity to create something new. Something we've never seen before, and something that makes us think. Something that your grandma would know about.